Hi everybody, welcome to my channel. In this video, we'll be talking about the Zaporizhzhia Nuclear Power Plant in Ukraine and Russia. Please remember to like and subscribe. Now let's get right into it. Fact 1. 6 reactors. It is no secret that this is a giant nuclear facility. The Zaporizhzhia nuclear facility actually contains 6 independent reactors. It is very unique because most nuclear power plants have 1 or 2 reactors, or maybe 4, but the Zaporizhzhia one has 6. And so you can imagine the massive amounts of land required to host this massive nuclear facility. And as such, one of the reasons why it is in such contention, it is because it is so powerful and gigantic and easily disrupted by artillery or missile attack because its footprint is so large. Most nuclear reactors do not span this much real estate, but the Zaporizhzhia nuclear reactor is so large, and with 6 independent reactors, it is very difficult to manage and highly expensive to maintain. It is interesting though, with 6 reactors, there's still only 2 cooling towers, as you would see in every other nuclear reactor. Alright, let's get into the next fact. Fact 2. Largest in Europe. As I mentioned in the previous section, the Zaporizhzhia nuclear power plant has 6 independent reactors. Because of this, it is one of the largest nuclear reactors in the world, and therefore, in terms of Europe, it is the largest one. And that is no small feat, because Europeans love nuclear reactors. In fact, for example, the country of France runs mostly on nuclear power. Nuclear power is way more accepted in Europe than anywhere else in the world. And so, for the Zaporizhzhia nuclear reactor to be even the largest one in Europe, that tells you something. That tells you that it is a major power plant, not just for Ukraine, but possibly for the region as well. And so it is no wonder it is a huge contention during the Russian-Ukrainian conflict. Alright, let's get to the next fact. Fact 3. Cooling reservoir. With 6 nuclear reactors to cool, it is obvious that this particular nuclear power plant, given its massive size, requires a lot of cooling and a lot of resources to cool. In fact, the Zaporizhzhia nuclear facility has its own cooling reservoir. This cooling reservoir is drained through the Kavlhovka reservoir that is created by damming the Dnieper River in Ukraine. This reservoir is very large. It looks almost like a river in itself. And from this reservoir is where the Zaporizhzhia nuclear reactor gets its cooling sources. It's no different than most other nuclear plants in the world. Nuclear plants need to be built near a water source in order to constantly cool the reactor so it doesn't melt down. Typically, nuclear reactors are built near waterways, rivers, or even the ocean. The Zaporizhzhia is near the Dnieper River and its own cooling reservoir. As you sail on the Dnieper River, you will see the massive nuclear facility that is the Zaporizhzhia. Alright, let's get into the next fact. Fact 4. 10,000 employees. When the Zaporizhzhia nuclear reactor was fully functioning and operational, up to 10,000 people work in the facility. 10,000 people working in a single nuclear power facility. But when you consider that it has 6 independent reactors, having 10,000 people working at this facility isn't too unusual. At the time of this video, the power plant is in the cold shutdown phase, and there's about 3,000 people remaining to maintain it. So you can imagine if it takes 3,000 people just to maintain a deactivated nuclear power plant, at the height of its power generation and full active mode, it's likely to require so much more people. And so therefore, the Zaporizhzhia nuclear reactor is not only a major source of power, it is also a major employer in the region. Likely, towns and nearby villages have spawned up to maintain and sustain this local population of workers to operate on this nuclear power plant. In fact, next to the nuclear power plant is a small town. Alright, let's get into the next and final fact. Cold shutdown. At the time of this video, during the Russian and Ukrainian conflict, the Zaporizhzhia nuclear reactor is in a cold shutdown phase. This means that the power plant is not generating any power. All 6 independent reactors are in the cold shutdown phase. There's still some residual heat from the reactors, but the maintainers, the 3,000 people remaining that's maintaining the power plant, make sure that the reactors do not get overheated and continue their cool down process to eventually get down to a cold temperature where absolutely no heat is generated. I'm not sure if they want to do that though, because it would be such a waste to bring down a whole nuclear power plant so big, so powerful as the Zaporizhzhia, and to be out of use. I wonder if it'll turn into the next Chernobyl without the incident, but just left in a derelict state. Well, that's it for my video today. Thank you so much for watching. Please remember to like and subscribe. See you next time.